Hey, good afternoon. So why and how to use where and is? Most of the time you're going to use is in places where you have a lot of complex selectors nested in each other and you want to have some kind of bigger sense of what's going on without having to write everything over and over. So if you have H1 headings nested in, let's say, like these sections and articles and asides and navigations, and in those instances you want to change some value or property, you can simply specify those in a nested combination as the elements of a list as an argument to is. So in this example here, this is the same code as the top one. So you are saying that if the first element of this selector is either section, article, aside, or nav, then its child element, which can be section, article, aside, and navigation, and its child H1 heading, should have font size of 20 pixels. And you can nest them however you want. You can put the is in whatever place you want. It can be at the very last position. It can all be is's, and the only thing you cannot do is put a pseudo elements there, so before and afters. And there is a catch. The difference between is and where is the specificity. Also mind that is and where replaces the initial proposition of matches and any. Those two are not supported anymore and you should not use them. They are, for example, this is VS Codium, fork of VS Code, and if you write CSS and you just type matches, it will still suggest you the rule, but it's not supported anymore and is deprecated. So I have an example here of 9 boxes. They are displayed in a grid in a main, and all of them are diffs. Now the key difference is that is, everything specified in an is selector has the specificity of the most specified element in its argument list. So let's look at the DOM here. First, I have this heavy text here, which is bold with ID heavy, and ID is much more stronger than plainly selecting a normal element or several classes. So if I say if the element is either heavy, ID heavy, or common diff, and uncomment this background green yellow rule, all of them are now yellow, including the bold and including all the boxes, even though I'm using div here to specify the boxes, and it looks like it should be weaker than, for example, main and the direct child div, or even the classes or the ID tomato here. And so I'm going to comment it back. Now where looks exactly the same. It takes the same arguments and has the same support, but it has 0 specificity. So even though in the argument list I'm saying select the div with class aqua inside the main element, inside the body element, and make it pink, it doesn't display its pinkness or whatever in those aqua boxes, even though I have this kind of strong rule set here. Now for this to work, I would have to unassign all the background colors defined in the document because it has 0 specificity. The only thing it can beat is the default browser styles. So using where is a nice way to reset the browser styles, but still not applying styles directly in your CSS and then override them, because you can override where regardless of how you do it, because it has 0 specificity. So to apply this pinkness to this aqua boxes, you would first have to comment out the aqua with class specification, and then the ordinary blue one in the general main direct child diff selector for those two to be pink. So that's it, and ask me anything if you need in the comments or in the email in the description. Thank you.